Hello, everyone, and welcome to our talk on running and mental health and my new book, The Running Book. John Connell is my name, and I'm a farmer, writer, runner, and I'm here today to talk about the mental benefits of running, but also exercise, and in a way to hope to encourage you to want to get out there, take a little bit of exercise and get into your day and build your day in a new way. My book, The Running Book, is the reason I'm talking to you. It came out in October, and it's the story of my love for running, but also how it impacts upon me, but also it's the story of the local world in which I live in Longford, and it's an examination of history and life and how movement comes through the feet and really happiness comes through the feet. So I hope that we'll be able to bring some of that across today. So I'm aware that we're in a lockdown number 3, and I know that many of us are feeling a lack of freedom. We can't go where we want, and we feel trapped in our houses. We've been here before. This is the third time. Hopefully this is the last time before the vaccine arrives. So hopefully this, while it may seem like a longer one, that ultimately it will be for the better for us all. So I suppose what I want to say is that we do have a lifeline out of our houses. We have the 5k radius in which to exercise. There is some talk it might be reduced down to 2k, but at the moment it's 5k. Now that 5k radius is a lifeline, and I hope to explain to you today why you have to make use of it. So before we start, I thought I might read you a small section of the running book and bring you into the mind of a runner and hopefully get you interested in the act. So here we go. I've never ran this far before. I'm 30 and this is all new to me. I'm running now as though everything depends on it, and in so many ways it does. This run, this voyage, is in ways the climax of a journey into the country of the self, the final destination after a year of travelling. I'm thinking of all this, but really I'm just putting one foot in front of the other and willing myself on, hoping to keep going because I've quitted so many things in my life, ran away from problems and people, but right now this run is a way to make amends for all that. It might sound like magical thinking, and maybe in some way it is. All actions start in dreams and thoughts, and I've long held on to this one. I'm in the local forest of Derrycassan in rural Longford. It has snowed, and between the melting snow and puddles of water I race now. My feet are wet, but I do not mind. My lungs are strong and firm, and I know and feel that at this pace I can continue for a long time. An hour more, 2 hours more, I am not sure. This is an undiscovered country. A man once said to me, you get to know yourself on a long run. In the end, he surmised, you realise you're a lot stronger than you think, and a lot more stubborn. These words are haunting me now. They are every one of them true. Running and farming are two things I understand, two tangible things. With each passing day, progress is made. The cultivation of a crop or cow is like the tending of the garden of the self. Not much happens in a week, but the culmination of weeks and months, real progress is made, real goals achieved. Everything starts in dreams and thoughts, the building of a farm, the building of a body, the writing of a book. We are, in a way, I think, the heirs of our dreams. The sweat on my face has dried and turned to salt, and when I lick my lips I can taste it. It has been several hours since I have drank water. At times a craving comes to me for it, and then, like a lustful urge, it leaves again. I tell myself that soon I will stop and give in. There is a river and lake beside me, beside this old forest. Perhaps when all this is over, I will jump in, quench and cool myself. I'll cup my hands and drink the water from the lake fresh and clean, like the old people did in the long ago. I am not the greatest runner, but I have in me the discipline of an athlete. Running and exercise have given me control of my life, a real foundation on which to build, and from that, the new man that I have become has been forged. They say running is a lonely thing, but out there on the roads of life, I have never felt more alive, more connected to the moment. Connected to the moment is, I think, the takeaway message there. And I hope you enjoyed that piece. When you're out on the roads of life, there are several things happening to you and your body, and many of them are a benefit to your mental health. For me, good mental health and running or exercising in general go hand in hand. By engaging our active life, we are making today our masterpiece. Dr. George Sheehan was an American doctor and runner, and he used to say that we must make today your masterpiece. How do we do this in a time of COVID, you might ask? Well, we make use of the radius, as I talked about. We get out of the house and we engage those long legs of ours. It's important to remember that humans are the best long distance running animal in the world. That's a fact. No other animal can run or walk for as long a distance as we can. There's something I think of, well, I suppose it's like a species pride in that fact, and something that we shouldn't shirk away from. But you might say, this is the modern world. We are not cavemen running away from lions and tigers. And that's true, and we have to navigate the modern world. The modern world makes it harder and harder to get out and engage with the real world. And what's that, you might ask? Well, a lot of us have stationary office jobs, or we are engaged in stationary lives. We leave our house, sit in our cars, and then sit in an office. It all makes for an unhealthy lifestyle, and it can increase our weight issues, which in turn can affect our mental health. Not just weight issues, but generally we're not engaging with the body, we're not connected to the body, we'll feel more lethargic. So how do we engage with our bodies? Well, it all starts small. Not expecting people to start running marathons or doing ultramarathons now. It all starts small. We need to rediscover the magic of movement. Much in the way that we fill our well of positivity by taking care of our mental health, we can build our physical well of positivity by engaging with our bodies. In a sense, we can forget that we are our bodies. And I'm going to say that again. We can forget that we are our bodies. We are much more than just minds and a body that does the thing to aid the mind. Rather, it's a cohesive system that needs to work together, one feeding the other, one informing the other. In a sense, it's what I call the two minds. There are, in fact, two minds in our bodies, our head mind and our body mind. Our head mind and our body mind. Well, what are they? The head mind is one we all know. The body mind, however, is just as important, and we may not be as connected to it, but it is a part of our life. What is the body mind? Well, the body mind tells us when we're hungry. It tells us when we're tired. It tells us when it needs warmth. And yes, if you listen to it, it'll tell you when it needs movement and exercise. Again, this thing is designed to be used. Recently, Bill Bryson wrote a book about the human body. He's a celebrated American writer, and he actually worked out that each human body, if they were to manufacture it, would cost about $160,000 to make. It's a very expensive tool, and we have to engage with it and use it. So the body is designed to be used, and I think really we can say it is the greatest evolutionary tool on the planet, and it's adept at doing so much more than we think. It's much more than just driving a car or sitting on a chair so you can work in an office. If we can engage the two minds concepts, the body and the mind and the body, we can find a real way to be in the world. So how can we find a real way to be in the world and engage the two minds? Well, exercise is one of them. So why exercise, you might ask? Well, that's quite simple, because we can and because we should. We can and we should. But perhaps you're thinking maybe we need a bit more information. Why just those absolutes, John? Well, I'm going to explain it in different forms, and hopefully you'll come to see my reasoning of because we can and we should and it has all these benefits for us. So let's take a big benefit that or tackling a big benefit that we're all experiencing at the moment, which is stress. There isn't a man, woman, or child in the country who isn't facing a bit of stress at the moment because of the pandemic. Stress or anxiety, I tie them in together. We are feeling unsure about the future. We are feeling trapped. We are feeling stressors in our body. But stress is a part of life. It's a natural reaction in our bodies to make sure we don't get into trouble. But in the modern world, stress can take on so many different forms, and it's not a lion or a bear or a coyote that's causing us stress, but a report, a project, an exam, a pandemic, things that need to be done and that we feel are pushing down upon us. So exercise, including running and walking or cycling, are proven time and again to be a stress management tool. Now, I can guarantee that a walk or run during a stress-filled day will give you release from mental tension. And the benefit of exercise is that it actually increases concentrations of chemicals in your brain that will help moderate the brain's response to stress. Now, it's quite simple. You'd often hear people say, well, I went for a walk and the solution presented itself to me. That's essentially you're being able to calm the mind. The chemicals are being released, the serotonin, the endorphins. You have a sense of goodness and a sense of feeling well coming to you, and you are then able to analyze the stress and look at it. It's not a lion. It might be a report, might be a leaving cert, might be an exam, but you are able to look at it critically. And that's engaging the two minds. The body mind is helping us to deal with the stress, and then as a result of the body mind being relaxed, it relaxes the head mind, and the head mind can actually objectively look at the situation. So finishing a run, you'll find a number of things have happened, and it's the same with walking, but we're talking about running here. So you're in a calmer state of mind, we are happier, and we have put our stressing issue to one side. Let's go over that again. Calmer state of mind, happier, and stressing issue to one side. I think that the calmer state of mind is obviously the biggest thing. You'll feel a sense of elation after a good run or walk. You will feel that you've not only completed something, but you know yourself, you've done the right thing for your health, so you're taking care of your health. So there's a sense of goodness that builds out of that. And as you increase your exercise, that sense of goodness only increases and it only gets better. And as a result, you want to eat healthier and take care of yourself better so that you can go for a longer walk the next day. So calmer states of mind. Calmer states of mind are crucial when we're tackling stress, because not only have we abated our stress by exercising and our anxiety by exercising, we've actually literally put a distance between us and the problem. And in a sense, it's what I call running away from a problem, the positive effect of running away from a problem. You have moved away from the situation. You've put distance mentally and physically between you and the problem. You have engaged your body and you weren't thinking about that issue. You were thinking about getting through the 4 or 5K walk that you were doing or run that you were doing. And in a sense, you are putting a bridge between you and it, so that when you come back to the stress or the anxiety causing thing, that you're able to, in a sense, deal with it in a better way. So if we run away from them with the physical act, we can make them smaller, more manageable, and ultimately a problem that can be dealt with. We can't control the pandemic, but we can control how we react to it. I've talked about this before. It's our reactions to problems is how we outwit them and benefit ourselves. Now, you might be looking at me and saying, running is too hard and running's not for me. I'm going to tell you a short story about me. So 5 years ago, I wasn't a runner. I was a drinker, I was a smoker, I was a partier, but I didn't run or hike or walk. I didn't see the point of it. I'd walk to get a bus in the city or whatever, but that was about it. I didn't really see the point in physical exercise. Now, I was someone as a teenager who had done a lot of running, but I had left it to one side and said, well, that is for children or teenagers. But 5 years ago, I had some mental health difficulties and I discovered the world of exercise. Now, it was the first and best medicine that I discovered on my journey to wellness. Now, running is hard to begin with because we're not used to it if you're not an active person. And for me, I didn't get very far. I remember I started on a treadmill in the local gym and I said if I can do 10 minutes, that would be great. And then I built up to 20 minutes. And then after a while, I was able to build up to 1 hour, then an hour and a half. And then after that fitness level had been built up, after over a period of time, I'm not expecting this to happen in a few weeks. The couch to 5K is 6 to 10 weeks, so don't be under the pressure that you need to do it straight away. But I did graduate to the outdoors. I had a feeling that I wanted to run outside and be able to control my own pace, be able to engage with the run in a meaningful way, and of course get to see the outside. And if I can do that as a smoker and a drinker and all those other reasons, you can too. Running actually helped me twice. It helped me for my mind, and it also helped me for my physical health because it got me to stop smoking because I wanted to take care of my body so that I could run for longer. So it's a double benefit really, in a sense. So if I can go from an unhealthy chain smoker, you can too. The secret is a little bit every day. They say you can form a new habit by doing something for 21 days in a row. So try and set your goal of movement for 21 days. Now, how the hell do you do 21 days? Well, it all starts small. Just say, I'm going to do Monday, I'm going to do Tuesday. Tuesday comes, say, well, I'll go on Wednesday. We're not expecting you to run huge distances or walk huge distances. It's about that commitment to yourself. And we're in a new year. I know it may not fully feel like it yet because of the current conditions, but we are in a new year. And in that new year, it's January still. You can set your New Year's resolution and go from there. I often myself, I start my New Year's resolutions in December because you're already in the habit of it and you don't have to commit on January 1st saying, well, I have to do this. So get in early, or if you have a birthday coming up, birthdays are great milestones as well to say, well, I'm going to do this by my birthday, or I'm going to have it began before my birthday. So what are the benefits of the 21-day commitment? And that's all I'm asking for. 21 days, start with 1 day at a time, but 21 days is what it takes to form a new habit. So 1, the sunshine vitamin. Getting out in the open helps your body produce vitamin D, which helps lessen depressive symptoms. So it's going to make you feel better. I know we don't have huge sunlight in Ireland, but we do have it most days. So cognitive decline. Now this is something I didn't fully know myself, and it's really interesting. Working out, walking, running, cycling, going to the gym, actually helps combat cognitive decline. Cognitive decline can set in from our mid-40s onwards, and essentially mind starts to slow down a little bit. It's infinitesimal at the start, but it does start to slow down. But if we are engaged in an active physical lifestyle, it keeps our minds sharp. And not only does it keep our minds sharp, it keeps our bodies used. In a sense, it's about use it or lose it. I suppose it's in a way, you see people doing Sudoku for their brain. You have to do Sudoku for your body. So running is the free one, walking is the free one. So why not do that? So brain power. So running actually benefits your brain. It clears out our minds, as we've discussed. It releases chemicals, including serotonin, and helps us make and endorphins, and helps us make better decisions. So a runner will often tell you, and you'll probably have heard this before, that their best ideas came to them when they were out on the road. Well, that's why their brain is clear, their mind is clear, their brain power is working at an optimum percentage. And also, the final benefit of the 21-day commitment is increased productivity. Now that's an interesting one. Running will actually allow us to get more work done by taking the time out of our day for us. We are actually capturing the present moment and making the day count. So when we return to our tasks or work, we find we can manage them easier. And finally, running actually aids sleep. Now, we all need good sleep. Sleep patterns might be a little bit out of whack at the moment because of the pandemic and the lockdowns, but going to bed on time, getting up on time, really important. And exercise will actually help us sleep well that night. Exercise just before bed is not recommended because you're waking your body up, but exercise in the middle of the day and allowing the body to rest, then you will have a better sleep at night. So running, as I hope you learned, really does make a huge difference in your life. And I hope that it can make a difference for you. So for me, there's no better feeling than being out there on the road. In a way, it's a tool to allow us to see the soul of the world. And so on that note, I think I might finish with a small reading from the book again, which illustrates that point. Sunlight flows gently upon me as above birds dart and play, catching small insects. One sees all of nature on a run in the countryside, from wildflower-strewn ditches to hunting otters on riverside banks. The road can be a place of death and life, from where murderers of crows pick over the remains of rabbits to brave hedgehogs slowly surmounting its black expanse in search of new homes. The road, this place, is both beautiful and sad, a space of endings and beginnings. As a farmer, I have always loved nature, connected and bound as we are to the seasons and environment. We are custodians of it too, and must protect it for not just ourselves, but the greater mass of society. We runners get to observe life in the slow lane, unencumbered of cars and mechanical transport. We can stop should a thing take our fancy, or indeed if the glory of the world comes upon us. Sometimes when we are out on those runs, we can see the soul of the world. So that's the talk. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you can take away some lessons from it. Remember the 21-day commitment. You too can find yourself in a world of movement, increase your mental health, building a sense of happiness, and gain a little bit of control back during these strange times. I'm John Connell. Thank you for watching.